What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new week of Q&A and a new year. Happy New Year's, everybody. It feels like forever and a day since I've done one of these Q&As. Let's see. Aaron Williams, what's up, dude? Good to see you in the chat. Happy New Year. He says, Happy New Year. I'm technically working right now. First stream of the new year. Yeah. So it's first stream of the new year. Man, yeah, the holidays were interesting, and trying to get all my work settled for the new year and everything like that. Got a lot of exciting news coming up. Very, very exciting personally, as well as neural as well. Not a whole lot that I can talk about for the neural side, but big quotes, feels like it's been forever. Yeah. Tavo Lagos, what's up? Not much, man. Yeah, things are good. I'm working on a couple of new artist tones videos, as well as a video for this Friday, which is going to be about cleaning up all your recording, making sure you're attending to all your string noises and interference and DI boxes, editing, all that kind of stuff, so you can have like the cleanest recording that you want. But yeah, and then I have my coffee in my new mug, which I'm stoked on. Which is the Holy Roller Bean from Spirit Box. I don't know if you guys have seen Spirit Box's website, but they've partnered up with the Golden Road. I think it's Golden Road Bean Company. I don't know. Can't remember. But yeah, I'm drinking the Holy Roller right now. It's delicious. Loris, what's up, dude? Happy New Year. Oh, man. Yeah. Ville says, what's up? Stoked for the new year. Bun for passing of Alexi Leho. Such a legend. I totally agree. I'll tell you guys a little story about Children of Bodom. So I was a huge God Forbid fan back in the day. It was God Forbid and Children of Bodom went on tour together, and I was so stoked to see them both live. They were coming through Sacramento. I went through, so I was driving on my way to go pick up a friend, so that way we could both go to the concert. And on my way to my friend's house, I got in a massive car wreck. Okay, so I'm driving along, and this SUV decides to make an illegal U-turn, smashes into my driver's side door. In hindsight, I probably should have gone to the hospital, because I think I could have potentially had a concussion, but you know what? I'm here today, and everything worked out fine. But anyway, so T-boned my car, smashed in both my driver's side doors. Compromised the frame, as I found out later on, but the engine still worked, and I really did not want to miss this concert. So driving my busted up, I think it was a Honda Civic, where I had to climb out. I either had to climb out the window, or I had to climb out the passenger door to get out of my car. Went and picked up my friend, went to the concert, headbanged all night. It was awesome, and yeah, it was quite a performance. I really am sad to see him go, you know? Aaron Williams says, damn, young Steven was a savage. I think I was just an idiot. That's probably more appropriate. Oh, Steven says, yo, what's up to the Worms Rumble legend? I don't know if I'm a legend, because I'm not that good at it, but I pulled out a couple of wins the other night, so that's always good. Is that Steven Shreds? I can't see the picture. Adichia says the man's got his priorities set. No, it was great, dude. Like, honestly, it was so much fun. I remember that show just being like way over the top, and I had gotten into Children of Bodom prior to the concert, but like that really cemented like, holy shit, these guys are legit as fuck. Like, I really, really enjoyed the concert. Mohit says it reads Stephen Terrasas. Yeah, no, I'm because I know. I don't know why you're correcting me, bro. because I know him under another pseudonym, as it were. Oh, Raj Guru. Sorry, my monitor's a little far away, so it's hard for me to see some letters. Says 2020 best gear. I don't know. I really didn't get a whole lot of new gear outside of what is pertaining to my work, so I can't really say best gear of 2020. I mean, like, I saw a lot of people were really interested in the Rev heads. Yeah, I don't really think I have a really great great answer for that, unfortunately. So, let's see. You guys get anything cool for Christmas? Matthias, what's up, dude? Good to see you. He says, I saw Children once they had released their first album. That show was dope. Must have been in 97 or something. Yeah. When I saw them with God Forbid, that was probably in 2005, 2006, maybe. Good question. Aditya asks, any resolutions? I don't know if I particularly believe that's, for lack of a better term, I don't think I really believe in New Year's resolutions. I think that it's a good way to set yourself up for failure because you are attending yourself more to a date than you are a motivation. Like, people tend to want to mark temporally like new beginnings, right? So January 1st, new beginning, new year, new me, etc. But that's like kind of tying your motivation into something that's not exactly true because you have to make sure that that motivation is coming from within, that you want to do it for yourself, not because it's just another date. Anyway, I digress. My resolutions. I don't particularly have a resolution, but I've been doing something recently with my wife, actually, called 75 Hard, which I've really, really been digging a lot recently. And what 75 Hard is it's a 75-day long program where there are tasks that you have to meet on a daily basis. So you have to have 2 workouts. One has to be outside. You have to drink a gallon of water, stick to a diet, no cheat meals, no alcohol, read 10 pages from a nonfiction book, and take a progress pic of yourself every day. And it's really, really challenging. And I really I'm enjoying it. I'm kind of also hating it at times, but I'm really enjoying it because it's kind of forcing me to be on top of my decisions every day. So I'm at day 55, 56, 57, something like that. So I'm like close to being finished, actually. We started the program just after our honeymoon. So I think after the 75 Hard, we're going to take a couple of weeks break and then get back into it again. Nice. The DJ says, awesome. I did something like that for 12 weeks. It was part of my Artist Way Challenge. Interesting. Artist Way Challenge. I've never heard of that, unless that's just something you said. So, dude. Matthias just ordered my first 7-string a couple of days ago. Schecter KM7 Hybrid. Can't wait to hold that up. Dude, yeah. I've really liked the KM7s. The Keith Merrill guitars are dope. I mean, like that dude, he doesn't produce bad things. Like, I don't care much for his drum mixes at times, because he mixes all the shells to sound the same. However, like, that dude is a legend. Like, he's awesome. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Stephen Ward. We are on day 59. Delinquished says, Archetype Misha, pretty please. Happy New Year also. We'll see about the Misha stuff. I'm going to move my screen a little closer to me so I can more readily read your comments. That's fine. It's in the screen. That doesn't matter. Mohit says, next sale I'm getting Other neural DSP stuff. Best gear for 2021. That's a cute monitor. Yeah. So this is what I use to monitor myself while I'm filming videos for the channel. It's adorable. It's nice, little battery powered. I can set it up on my tripod, and it's perfect. My setup changes like every single week, dude. It's ridiculous. And yeah, like, and I have like all these like little modular pieces that get like shoved around and like moved different places. Like, so that way I have this. Sometimes I use my phone for the chat. I don't know. It's yeah. Let's see. Have I missed any questions? Oh, Austin Miller got the Nolly plugin for Christmas. Love it. Awesome, dude. Congratulations. That one is super like, I go back to that one sometimes and I'm still surprised at how good it sounds. Nice. Laura says, for me, best gear, Granifier. So oh, he's going to activate the license tomorrow. Nice. Awesome. Congratulations. The Granifier is dope. Steven says, I didn't see Bodum until Mayhem 2013, but it was a great show. I wish my name on here said Steven Shred. Having my full name is weird. Yeah, man. I was like, hang on. Steven with PH. I know Steven with PH. Hang on. Is this the same one? Although I've said that before and I've asked people like, oh, are you this guy? And they're like, no, it's not me. I'm like, oh, damn it. It's so confusing. Josh, what's up, dude? Okay, so if anybody you don't know, Joshua Montmany is my editor and also one of my best friends. I've known him for many years. He's good people. He's good people. So people are asking questions that I can't exactly answer, you know. It says, hi, Stephen, and Happy New Year. Are there any archetypes for bassists in the work? You know, I can't answer that. We got some really awesome stuff in the works. And the hits are just going to keep on hitting. And I cannot wait to see your guys' reactions to the next one. It's so good. It's so good. I'm so excited. Aditya, my best gear I bought this year was the Archetype of Bossy. Still to this day, I find new tones the more I tweak. It's the Archetype of Bossy is definitely like the more you mess with it, the better it gets. Like it has good default settings off the bat, like they're his settings, obviously. But yeah, the more you dig into it, the more possibilities you can find. So it's going to be, it's pretty, yeah, the Archetype of Bossy is pretty awesome. I don't know. See, I don't know about any of the cracked stuff, honestly. I haven't heard much about it. But I'm not really worried about it either because, you know, I'm not worried about cracked plugins because Neural DSP has such a loyal following as it is. Not only that, but also we have a quality and a brand that people trust and like and want to support. So yeah, if they're cracked, that is what it is. It's only a matter of time, really. But yeah. Alexander says, happy holidays. I bought Corey and Callie, and I don't know when I will record with amps again. Great job. Could those patches be somehow uploaded to Quad Pedal? I'm thinking of getting one. Okay, so, dude, congratulations. The Corey and the Callie, that just like rounds off so many diverse tones that you can get. Congratulations, first off. And he's asking, can those patches be somehow uploaded to the Quad Cortex pedal? I'm thinking of getting one. Okay, so that's a good question because the pedals or the plugins will be excuse me, the pedals will be ported over into the Quad Cortex through your account. Yeah, so eventually they're going to be ported over at no additional cost. If you have the plugin in your account, that'll be ported over to the Quad Cortex. So yes, it's probably going to be in an update down the road. It's not going to be launched with the plugins. However, the cool thing that you're going to be able to do is that once the plugins are going to be ported over to Quad Cortex, you'll be able to use each individual like component as its own block. So you can use the compressor from the Corey, and then you can use the wah. You could use, I mean, you could use the second head from the Kali. You could use the delay and reverb from the Pliny. So you're going to have a whole lot of different options to do that with. Tone Chaser, do you plan on doing a platform plugin like Element by Cushview? I got Element and it's revolutionized my setup. I don't know if we're going to do something like that, sort of modular kind of setup. I don't think we are, but I can't be sure what's happening on the other side of the developers wall, because they kind of keep that stuff, you know, really tight to the chest. Anyway, besides that, like, I can't really talk about what's in development anyway. But I don't think, honestly, I don't think that that's something that they have in mind. If they do, then that's something that I'm not aware of. Yeah, so that's actually a really good point as well. Aaron Williams says, I get asked all the time about cracked neural plugins. They are ridiculously broken and they don't support anyone. It's very true. It's sort of a short-term versus long-term benefit, right? So in the short term, you may get some decently usable tones here or there. However, cracked versions are never as stable as the actual plugins. Not only that, but also, like, if you go to, you know, ask for support or help from the company at all, it's just not going to be there. You know, we won't support cracked versions of our plugins. So, and not only that, but also, like, you're not, you know, you couldn't. It wouldn't exactly be kosher if you hopped in the Neural DSP Facebook group and said, "Hey, I made this with a cracked Fortin Nameless. What do you think of the tones?" Like, nobody's going to really dig that. You know, nobody's going to. It's just not going to be good for you. Like, that's why the trials are there, for you to mess around with them, and then, you know, purchase the plugin if you can. I mean, honestly, like, the plugins are so economical. Like, I understand that some people can't afford them. Save up until you can. But, like, we're producing plugins that are thousands, if not hundreds, not hundreds, but like tens of thousands of dollars in some cases. If you look at, like, the archetype Corey Wong, like, you break down each one of those individual pedals and components and you price them out. It's like that value, like, the cost of the plugin is such a small fraction of the value that you're getting for the plugin. So, you know, that's sort of my argument, is that it's like, we're making this stuff very, very accessible. You know, we do have to pay our people, which is obviously why we charge for our plugins. But we're trying to get you the creative pieces so that way you can make your art, you know. Mohit says, being loyal, I decided to spend on Neural DSP Nolly and Pliny with my first ever salary. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. And that's the thing. Like, we're more interested in building a community and building, you know, brand and customer loyalty. Like, we want to give something to you guys so that way you give something back. So, like, there's an exchange, right? Being able to, you know, we want to give you the tools to make this process of making music and making art so much easier and intuitive and fun. You know, like, I've done sessions before where I've set up, you know, guitar amps and the cabinets and the microphones, and, like, it's a tedious situation, and it can be fun depending on who you're working with, but, like, it's a very tedious kind of situation. Whereas with the plugins, you just pull up the plugin and you have legitimately good tone right out the gate. So, yeah, it's we appreciate the community for being as awesome as it is, and I'm very proud to be a part of that community. Daniel Guth says, not sure if I should pre-order the QC right away through Tommen, etc., or wait until it's out for retail. Any recommendations for what I should do? So, and this is going to be up to your own discretion, right? So it depends on if you want to wait until the model is out and you want to kind of hear from other people, hear reviews and hear tone demos. Like, I don't disrespect anybody who wants to wait. You know, that's like we appreciate and love that people are so engaged with our products that they want to support us by pre-ordering the QC, right? Like, it's awesome and amazing. And the fact that we sold out of 2 tiers, you know, in like record amount of time, like, it was just ridiculous how quickly they flew off the shelf. However, like, you know, use your own judgment. If you feel that the cost to entry is a barrier and you want to make sure that you are happy with the product afterwards, which I know you will be, but if you want to wait until after the product is out so you can hear all of the tone demos and all of the reviews and everything like that to get a better picture of what it's going to do for your own personal setup, that's fine. I don't think that that's a bad plan at all. You know, however, like, yeah, if you pre-order, you'll get it faster than everybody else. You'll be able to start writing music faster than everybody else. So, like, you have to kind of just choose which of those you want to do. Like, and neither is a bad option. So hopefully that answers your question. Thomas asks, will the Quad Cortex work as a DI box as well? You could do that. Yeah, you could definitely do that. I've been doing that occasionally as well. Like, you could go like into your Quad Cortex and out to your interface. So yeah, you can go like, there's going to be no degradation of sound. The only thing that I would recommend if you were going to do that, so like, because I have used that exact same setup, going into my Quad Cortex and then next going to my interface. It's kind of how I've been practicing recently. If you do that, be mindful of gain staging, because the signal to noise ratio will compound with each new additional piece that you add into the signal chain. But it sounds great. It sounds super clean. Christian, yes, says he says, Happy New Year. Will there be a chance for neural plugins to use less CPU in future updates? Yes, we are currently working on updates for all of the plugins to bring, you know, a more sleek and more less CPU intensive structure to the plugin. So yes, definitely, because we do know that they are CPU like they are CPU intensive. Some of them. So yeah, that's definitely in the works. Laura says, "Oh my God, I really wrote authorization. Sorry, for my pizza English. That's all I wanted to pull attention to. It's just pizza English. I love it. So congrats with work on the Omega. Neural DSP work really amazing. I appreciate that, Loris. I really do." Alexander, is there a pedal you would recommend for wah or expression for the Quad? I don't know if there is. Like, I have the FCB 1010. You can actually see it down here in the corner right over here. That's what I'll be using for my expression pedal. But that's mostly just because I already have it from working with my plugins. So I know that the MIDI commander is also a pretty good bet for it. It doesn't have the expression pedals in it, but like if you're looking for a MIDI controller, that one. And then I think Moog has some expression pedals that are good. I don't know. I would need to look into that. Epic Chicken, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Oh man, people are chatting. I'm like, I've lost my place in the chat. Yeah, Epic Chicken. Happy New Year, dude. Yeah, see, okay, this is the dude who's got a great. Like, Anmol says, agreed. I waited for 8 months to buy Nolly on sale. There you go. Like that's a perfectly acceptable and like solid move. Like I feel like people like there's that fear of missing out, right? That FOMO where people are like, oh my God, I need to have this plugin right now. It's new. It's the thing. Like, no, like make sure you have the money for the plugin. Like it'll be there. It'll be there. Do the trial. If you need more time, see if support can reset your trial. Michael D, good to see you, man. Happy New Year. Yeah, Adichie says Neural usually gives 50% discounts. Yeah, we've been doing discounts on our plugins. You know, we may not get a discount to you when you absolutely want it, you know, but it's going to be there. So if you're patient and pay attention, and you're also subscribed to the mailing list, as you should be, it'll be there when it is. Dude, Diego says, yeah, man, the plugins are the best. I went for one in the last sale and ended up buying the whole Fortin series and Dark Glass Ultra. Dude, yes. Thanks for the amazing tools to get the tone of our dreams. Of course, man. No, that's what we're trying to do. You know, we're trying to make sure that we're trying to get you the tools to make, like, I don't know if anybody else has had this problem in the past. Like before I worked with Neural DSP plugins, like it was so difficult to get what was in here onto the computer screen. Like I would hear a sound in my head, I'd hear a tone in my head. It's like, okay, it sounds kind of like this, and it sounds like maybe like a Marshall-ish with, you know, like a JCM 800, you know, V30 cones on the speakers, etc. Like, you know, and then like I'd be like struggling with what I was working with just to get like something that was passable, because it's like, oh, this is too much presence, too much woofiness, too like whatever. And then like I get Neural DSP and it's just like, boom, it's there. It's awesome. Todd says, I'm in the tier 2 for Quad Cortex pre-orders. Can't wait for it to ship. Very, very soon. I'm very, very excited. I'm sure you guys have been seeing that people have been getting their Quad Cortexes. Well, the influencers have been getting their Quad Cortexes for the content creation and marketing and reviews and whatnot. So things are moving ahead very, very quickly, and we're very, very excited. Yeah, we're very, very excited. Things are looking really, really well right now. Really good right now. Yujan says, do you think it's possible to mix with only laptop speakers? Probably not. The speakers are just too small to represent the full spectrum of audio that you need to hear. I would say that you could probably check your mix on a computer speaker or laptop speakers to see if it's well balanced on, you know, like the better your mix sounds on garbage speakers, the better your mix is overall, right? Because it could sound amazing on my JBLs that I have on my desk, but if they don't sound good in my car, or if they don't sound good on my laptop, then it's really kind of worthless at that point. So Mohit says, after evaluating them all, I felt the stellar performance that very few other amp sims have. I'm getting more Neural DSP plugins next sale, no doubt. Yes, no, I appreciate that. And I like that you go through. I like that you said that you evaluated them all, because that's the only way that you're going to find the tone that best suits you. We see that a lot in the Facebook group where people are asking like, what's the best tone for this? What's the best tone for that? And while, we do have answers for that where, it's okay. Nolly is a great Swiss Army knife. It's great for like pretty much everything. Clean, overdriven, heavy leads, all of those things. Pliny's also very versatile. Fortin Nameless is good at heavy things and kind of crunchy things. It doesn't do clean quite so well. It's great that you took the time to really figure out what was going to be good for you. So I always appreciate when people say that. Proshuria asks, will the quad be a limited product because I can't afford it now, maybe in the next 5 years? It will not be a limited product. There you go. No. I know that we're going to be making that for a long time. Aaron Williams asks, Stephen, has there been any latency in running the quad Cortex to your interface? No, none. It's very, very, it's very, very quick. It's very, very quick. What I'll usually do is I have, if I need to practice or if I'm working on presets for the quad Cortex, I'll just have my input monitoring set up on my interface. So I'm just hearing the live audio and there's zero latency. So yeah. Raj Guru, please explain the neural capture process in brief. I mean, do you want to know about the process or do you want to know about the methods behind it? Because I know less about the methods and more about the process. So it's not really that complex. It's just a matter of plugging in the piece that you want to capture, setting up like new capture. It goes through the process and then it'll allow you. It's actually very cool because you can. The way it's set up is after you finish capturing the piece that you want, whether it's like a distortion pedal, overdrive pedal, head, cabinet, whatever. It'll allow you to go back and forth between the original sound and the captured sound, which is very, very cool. I got to do some capturing when I was at Sweetwater, and that was very, very fun. It was actually the first time that I got to try that. I'm actually thinking I'll probably end up doing some captures on the precision drive pedal that I have on my stand over here. So. Benedict, how is the USB audio latency looking like with the quad Cortex, like round trip latency when used in a DAW? I don't know the exact numbers, but it's hardly noticeable. I mean, like any other interface, like it'll have. I haven't really messed around with it too terribly much, but the latency is not very noticeable at all. Job Lewis says, hey, Stephen, looking forward to my quad Cortex. Have you had the chance to play with one lately? Yes. Yeah, no, I have one on my desk. And, I have, I mean, like, I'm the content creator, so I obviously have to have a quad Cortex. So yeah, I have been playing around with one. I've been making some cool presets and everything. Josh has a technical question. My PreSonus 6.8 won't be recognized by some apps, Spotify, etc., but my Focusrite single channel has zero problems. Any idea why? I imagine probably what that is the because I know you're running Windows. Occasionally there will be problems with permissions, audio permissions. So if you go into your sound panel and open up the like recording and playback tabs, just make sure that you have like default communications and default sounds set to the sound device that you want to use. And then just for safe measure, just deactivate every other, all your other audio devices. That would be my guess at this point. I think That should help. Aaron Williams, what happened to the Guitar takeover? I know it got canceled, but is that just squashed now? No, we're going to come back around to that after the QC is released. At that point, we just decided that it'd be safer in our best interest to push it back a little bit till we had everything a little bit more set with the quad Cortex. So that will be happening, I imagine, after they start shipping tier 1 and tier 2. Oh, that's awesome, Matthias. Okay, so Matthias is talking about something that's some people have been asking about in the Facebook group. Matthias says, I recently started using standalone versions of the Neural plugins as a monitoring device. Works like a charm while recording with no latency issues whatsoever while having a ton of plugins on in my DAW. What he's talking about is like, you'll have Cubase open or Pro Tools or Logic or whatever, and then you open up the standalone version and be listening to that instead of your DAW DI audio. So that way you can use the amplifier as your monitoring device, and the latency is much better doing that than recording out of your DAW. Because sometimes if you get a DAW that's really plug-in heavy, that can sort of bog down your CPU and create more latency. I will say though, a very simple fix for some people. I've run into this myself because I wasn't paying attention. But if you have some plugins going through your mastering chain and the others going through just your output, like going through your mastering chain is going to introduce latency. Because I got a message from a friend of mine who was like, hey, these plugins are awesome, but we're getting so much latency. And I was like, I messaged him back. I'm like, well, is the signal you're monitoring with going through your mastering chain? Because each one maybe only puts in like 20, 30, 40, 50 milliseconds. But if you have a full, 8 plug-in mastering chain, then that really adds up, and that's going to kind of destroy your ability to monitor. Aaron Williams, no one told me, but it was over when I bought plenty. I played on it for a night, and now I own all of the Neural DSP plugins. Yeah, dude. Oh man, if I would be in the same boat. Like I think it was the Fortin Nameless was the first plugin that I bought from Neural DSP. I had heard about the Dark Glass Ultra, but not being a bass player, I was kind of like, I'll hold off on that. I'll see what everything else is all about. So I ended up getting the Fortin Nameless, and I only downloaded the trial so I could. Let me set up the scenario a little bit better, actually. So I had just moved to LA. I had no money in the bank. I was sleeping in a 14 by 20 box, basically homeless, working out of like a little practice space, makeshift studio. And at that point I was working in audio, doing like prep work and like a couple mixing jobs. I had downloaded the trial for the Fortin Nameless because I was trying to get a spec mix because I was like, friends of mine were working on their album, and I'm like, send me the tracks, I'll take a look at it. And they had mentioned like, hey, have you checked out this Fortin Nameless from Neural DSP? And I was like, I've seen the videos and I'm really impressed with it so far. So they wanted me to try that, and I downloaded the trial, and then I listened to how it sounded on their tracks, and I was like, oh, I gotta get that. Oh shit. Okay. So I like squirreled away like coffee money and whatever. Like I just like tucked away enough money so that I could buy it. Like, yeah, it was great. So that was like the first plugin that I bought. If I wasn't working for Neural, I would definitely be in the same boat of just buying all of the plugins. All right. Gopan, hi Steve, could you please do Josh Middleton from Silosis Architects tone demo and presets with any of the Neural DSP plugins? That would be great. Happily. Elvon Badger, what's up, dude? Yeah, Architects. So which to follow up with that, what specifically, like a song, give me a song or an album, something that can kind of like drives me toward a specific tone you're looking for. Because generally if you have oh, I'm looking for I'm looking for a Meshuggah tone. Like their tone has evolved over the years. So are you talking like early Meshuggah? You're talking like nothing Meshuggah? Are you talking like Kolos Meshuggah? So yeah, Silosis, Ice Ever, awesome. Architects Murder. Okay, cool. I'm going to write this down for myself so I don't forget, because I will absolutely forget. Architects. What did you think of their Architects newest like tracks? I saw that they were getting some flack and some praise. Like people were pretty split on the newest stuff. Had sort of Bring Me the Horizon kind of influence on it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty dope. How can I get Gary Holt's tone? Asks Thrasher81. Gary Holt, I would say probably one of the Fortin plugins, I think. The Black Lungs was great as well. Okay, cool. Kevin Thompson, Happy New Year, dude. Says stoked for the Quad Cortex. As am I. Very, very soon. It's our catchphrase, soon. Job Lewis, how can I get my tone? He asks. It's almost a very like existential sort of question. Like, how can I get my tone? Try out all the plugins, have some fun, just start twisting some knobs. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but like I tend to be sort of a tinkerer when it comes to like making tones. I never make the same tone twice, just because I'm curious. I'm very curious to see what everything will do when it's, done in conjunction with like this part or that part. Like what happens if I push this knob all the way up? Like I love doing that sort of stuff. For sure, yeah. I did not get the Jeff Loomis plugin. No, I did not. It looks like a plugin. GoPan I says, I have a small question which is not regarding Neural DSP. What is the difference between amp modeler and amp profiler? Are they nearly the same, or how are they really different? Well, I think probably what the question is sort of pertaining to is the difference between like what the I don't know the exact technical terms, but modeling is definitely a far more complex equation that builds the tone from scratch, whereas like a profile is sort of is almost like an impressionist painting. Like it's just kind of like a snapshot of settings in their current positions. And it's not quite as accurate as modeling is. I think that's generally the vibe. I'm kind of this is just from glancing conversations I've had, but yeah, I think that's basically what it is. Kevin Thompson asks, did you make any song-based presets for the Quad Cortex? Sure, yeah. I've done a couple of presets. I've been really busy trying to get the artist tone stuff back up and running. We had quite a break there for a little bit between Christmas and also me getting married. So I had a little bit of a break. So right now it's just a matter of like getting the artist tones back up and running, and that's been kind of my focus. So I'm actually working on Muse Hysteria as well as Intervals I'm Awake, which I'm super stoked about. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to be working through and making a whole bunch of presets for the Quad Cortex. So Aditya, are the amps which come in built into the Quad Cortex modeled or captured? Those ones are modeled. The captures do take up less CPU, so if you have like an amplifier that you enjoy using, that's going to the captures are going to take up less CPUs than the models are. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. There we go. Thrasher gave a great. Modelers use exact differential equations of the components of this amp circuitry. Profiles just match the EQs of the frequency response. There you go. What's up, Dylan? Hosa said Steven is no longer on the market. Sorry, boys. Dustin Mink, any idea when the Parallax will get a tuner? I'm not really sure, actually. As I mentioned, I don't know if you were here earlier when I mentioned it. All the plugins are getting updates, so I imagine that the current update that's being worked on for the Parallax will get a tuner, I imagine. I think you probably could, Job. Can you capture a neural block to save CPU? I think so. I think it's possible. You just have to get the routing correct, I guess, and make sure that the feedback's not bad. I would have to investigate it a little bit more, but the thought has definitely crossed my mind. Let's see. Yeah, so the Neural DSP Quad Cortex is a modeler, I believe, says Gopan. So yes, it is a modeler. It is a modeler. It is a modeler with the ability to capture the distinct pieces of hardware. Our capture process is much more involved than profiling, though. It's not exactly the same as just running an EQ spectrum sweep and then just recording the frequency responses. Gopan, you're asking all the good questions, man. What is your favorite guitar, go-to guitar? Your prized one or your favorite? Okay, right now I'm really like, I'm focused on like three guitars right now, and they all have different values. So the one I've been really rocking recently is the Strandberg that I have, the Hoppus 7-string, and my Chapman bass. Those three are like, yeah, I play with those probably the most right now. Just because the versatility of tones that I get from all three of those instruments is unparalleled. Like the interval stuff I'll be doing with the Strandberg, because that's just the closest in tone that I've been able to match. However, I've been looking at this telly in the corner of the room and wondering if I could get some good tones with that on the same setup. So I'll be messing around, but I would definitely say like Strandberg is probably my go-to. I just want to relax and play guitar or practice or whatever. The Hoppus is it's just my secret weapon when it comes to like good guitar tone, because they make their own pickups and they're amazing at what they do. And then my bass is just my bass, and I love it. Okay, so Thrasher81 says, what do you do to your guitar bus? Please elaborate, Stephen. Okay. That is an interesting question, and it really is dependent on the style I'm playing, as well as just like it's just a case-by-case basis. Let me do some of these questions real quick, and then I'll get back to the guitar bus one. Yeah, Dustin Mink just got his Strandberg 7-string. Yes, Aaron Williams, the manual will be available in PDF when the unit ships. Yes. And Joe Lewis, have you ever tried Evertune? I want an Evertune so bad. I want one so bad. Like I can't. The Evertune bridge is a studio musician's dream. because I'm having to like tune my stuff in between takes every time, and tune and retune. And the idea of just being able to just roll through a session without having to worry about the tuning of my instrument, it makes me so happy. Okay, but back to Thrasher's question. Depending on what's yeah, let's see. It kind of depends, right? Let's see. Let's see. Oops. Make sure that this is, yep, that's showing right. If I'm rocking some, well, I'll show you generally how I'll set this up. Like if I'm working through a guitar bus, like I'm just putting this on my my guitar channel right now, but generally what I'll have is my Pro Q3 will start off the signal chain, and this is just for shaping. So if we're talking about guitar bus, this is just going to be for shaping. So that way I can do something like a dynamic band around like 350 or so, give or take. Maybe I'll do like a little bit of a presence boost or cut some individual frequencies down. So that's kind of just what my Pro Q3 is going to look like. Then after that, depending on the type of guitars I'm working with, I might use a multi-band compressor. Let's see. Ooh, wow, okay. Multi-band compression on the low end, so that way it keeps like the woofiness down. Let's see. Shep's Omnichannel. My word. It's one of my favorites. The Shep's Omnichannel I'll usually use as like a sweetening EQ. You can use the compressor in here, maybe the de-esser or some of the saturation. But typically I'll use just a little bit of high gain, a little bit of highs on the EQs. Maybe I'll drop down 350 hertz with this EQ as well. And that's generally how I'm going to set up my my guitar bus. It kind of depends though. It always changes. Rod King says, bought an ESP EC1000 with Evertune. Best decision ever. Yeah, dude. Like the EC1000 is like a staple for like rock and metal guitar. It's so good. Cody94 asks, not into Floyd's. It's not my favorite. Like, so, and it's not because I think that it's a bad design or I think that it's a bad accessory. I think that the Floyds are great for specific tunings, and with the work that I do, I have to have guitars that are made to change their tuning very fast. And I can't, taking the time to like, pull this one down, then this one up, and then change it back again and do this and that. Like it's kind of frustrating to have to spend the time to retune the whole guitar several times just to get, drop D versus E standard. So I don't dislike Floyd's. I mean, the Strandberg that I have does have a floating bridge system, which I'm enjoying, but like it kind of limits me to like, okay, I can keep it in standard, Maybe sometimes I drop it down to drop D if I have like the time to retune it. But I like being able to just like flip my tuner and then just go. Okay, Matthias asks. Matthias asks, wait, did you switch from Pro Tools to Cubase? I'm waiting to get a new. I'm waiting to get a new NFR for a new subscription for Pro Tools. So for the time being, I'm working out of Cubase because that's actually the original. That was my first. That was my first DAW. I started with Cubase. I actually started with Cubase 5. It was funny enough. We were talking about cracked plugins and cracked stuff earlier on. I started with the cracked version of Cubase 5 and the Waves Mercury bundle. And then once I realized that this was something I seriously wanted to do, I ended up buying all the stuff that I needed. So I bought a copy of Cubase, eventually switched over to Pro Tools because that was where the job opportunities were at. And then, yeah, still have Cubase. So this is kind of like my backup. I need to get some work done today. So that means I'm working Cubase, even though I'm completely unfamiliar with it at this point. Aditya, I got an EC256 for my birthday. Nice. Congratulations, man. Okay, Rick, speaking of retuning, will the Quad Cortex include a poly pitch? Yes, it does. It has several pitch-based blocks, and they all sound really, really awesome. That's actually one of the things that I've been most interested in, most like I've been having the most fun with the pitch effects. Very, very, very good. Oh, Osin McPhillips says. Olsen? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm terrible at reading some of these names. Asks, so what guitar is that you're holding in the thumbnail? Looks cool. That's my Hapas 7-string. If you guys don't know Hapas, it's Hapas. It's 2 luthiers out of Germany. They make amazing guitars. Like, I honestly think that, like, they are so talented with their builds, and I think they're going to blow up. Like, to be very honest, I think that they are so good at what they do. They're such good people. They have such good work ethic. Like, they are going to blow up very, very soon. And they're really great people. Yeah, Matthias says just hit record and hope for the best. Yeah, definitely. Okay, Thrasher81 says, hey, Steven, what's your views on YouTubers widening the guitars on plugin demos? Unprocessed track. That's what I like about Miko from ML SoundLab. The plugins sound just like his audio demos. Okay. I have mixed feelings about that. Like, I don't use any stereo wideners on my guitar tracks. I may toss a stereo widener on my mix bus. So like on my mastering chain, I might have like a slight limiting or slight widening on it. But generally what I like to do is show you guys completely unprocessed tones as well as processed tones, because I want to give you guys sort of like this is what it's going to sound like before, this is what it's going to sound like out of the box, and this is what it's going to sound like in a fully formed production. I also think that there needs to be transparency. I think that's probably what you're kind of getting at is the idea of transparency, that like, there should be a note that says like, this is a process demo, or like these guitars have been processed in some way, which I totally get, because that's, you want to know what you're buying. You want to have that transparency so you have exact like expectations of what you're purchasing out the gate. So like, I think that if the YouTuber gives you an understanding that like, hey, this is, a fully mixed demo, like, generally for all the plugins that we come out with, I'll do like a component breakdown where I'm just playing the guitar and it's just raw guitar audio, and then I'll do like a full production mix, which that'll have, you know, minimal EQ. I try not to EQ the guitars too much because those are sort of like the element that I want to stand out the most. So I'll do minimal EQ on the guitars, and then usually a simple mastering chain, something like EQ, saturation, clipping, limiting, something along those lines. That is a good question. Corey LTM asks, do you use EQ before the amp to shape certain guitar pickups? Pros and cons. Yes, absolutely. I will happily do that. If I'm not getting the exact tone I'm looking for out of the pickups, and I know I can EQ them to do certain things, then yeah, absolutely. Like, so, like if I'm playing like a particularly genty part, you know, has some like mutes and some chuckas and like little like with like, you know, pick scratching or something like that. What you could do is go in with like a wide Q around like the 2 kilohertz area to like accentuate those pick scrapes. You know, you don't want to over EQ your pickups, obviously, because you don't want them to sound unnatural. But like, yeah, I mean, like if you want to experiment with that, I would say happily go for it. That's definitely something that like there's no rules against it, right? The only con to that, a minor con to that I can think of is if you don't have that set up on your live performance, your guitars won't sound like that when you're playing live. So there won't be a consistency, right? I would probably do it more for production value rather than overall tone, like I just mentioned. So, yeah. What's up, Mel Torres? How's it going, dude? Thanks for popping in on the stream. Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure, Corey. Yeah, it's I've done it in the past before, plenty of times. Like if there's a guitar tone that's like just a little too flubby, or like it's causing too much mid range or a low end in the amplifier, yeah, I'll definitely do like maybe like a low shell for like cut a little bit out of the low end of the guitars. So yeah, I would definitely experiment with that. You know, like I said, there's no rules to this. There's, you know, never limit your own creativity or imagination when it comes to creating music. Let's see. Hayden Luckenbach. How does the polypitch sound compared to something like the Digitech Drop? It sounds dope. I haven't had any experience with the Digitech Drop, so I'm probably not the best person to ask about that. But as far as quality of sound, I can attest to just how good it does sound to my ears when I'm using it. So yeah. Gutter Gods. Yeah, says R.I.P. Alexi Leho. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. So that's 11:07, and I have more things to film today. So let's go ahead and get our final questions in, and we'll start wrapping things up. Hey, Ancient Mariner, how's it going, dude? Dirt Racer, does Neural hire developers from the US or do they mainly keep it local? Let me see if they there was a let's see, if you go to neuraldsp.com and you go to that thing, contact, let's see. There used to be a careers page on Neural DSP. However, I mean, like you could still contact people at Neural DSP and try and see if you can apply there. I think that they would be open. Like I like the company is growing very fast, and I think that the company is always going to be open to new and fresh ideas and new and fresh people. So I don't think that that's necessarily a a requirement necessarily, but yeah, I would just start asking around, see if you can't get some emails going in a dialogue. Oh, nice. Thanks, Mel. Says he'll let me borrow the Digitech drop. Yeah, Aaron says thanks for taking the time to talk and answer questions. 2021 is going to be amazing. Really looking forward to it. Agreed, dude. Agreed. I'm very excited for 2021. Especially because kind of related to the previous question about location, I'm actually going to be moving over to Finland so I can be working out of the Neural DSP headquarters. So I'm very, very excited for that to happen. So I'm not sure exactly the time frame when that's going to happen. Just kind of letting you guys know what's going on with me is that, along with all the content creation that I'm working on and podcasts, I'm kind of lining up with people. I'm planning on a move to Finland. My wife and I are going to be moving over there. So that way I can be closer to headquarters and making stuff with the team. And I'm very, very excited for that. Very, very excited. Oh, thank you, Aditya. It says, no questions, just well wishes from India. I recommended Neural DSP to a few friends, and they just love it too. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Mel Torres, what's your take on the impact of impulse responses and mic placement in cab sims? I've found that it's the least played around with parameter, but has the highest impact on tone. Yes. Yeah. Oh, dude, I've said it before, and I will say it till my dying day. Impulse responses are probably the second most important aspect of your tone, next to your own hands. It just goes like it's guitar player, and then impulse response is like right there below it. The impulse response is that make it or break it thing. Like whenever I'm working through tones, that's the first thing that I go to, because your head is going to give like saturation characteristics and high mids lows, and because all these really cool things. However, the impulse response is that like, oh gosh, how would I put it? Everything has to go through the impulse response. Everything is influenced by the impulse response. So if you have a bad IR that you're working with, it's not going to give you some good tones. Like it's the jigsaw puzzle piece that's going to fit or not fit in your mix. Like that, I guess the way that I'm looking at it is like my mix is sort of like it's like a puzzle, and each individual piece fits within itself. Like this impulse response is more bright, this one is more dark, this one's more mid-rangey. And if you can get the right impulse response, it's just gonna lock into your mix and just work. And then everything else is just window dressing. So yeah, I would say that it's so important to your tone. Hell yeah, dude. Aaron Williams says also thank you. You inspired me to get my page up and get some demo videos done. I'm super excited for that, man. I really like that's honestly one of the biggest things that I aim to do with the position I have at Neural, and just the good fortune that I've had. I want to try and always give that back to the people around me, the people who have helped me, including the community that supported me during my work with Neural. And I'm so excited to see what people are doing with the tools that we create. I'm super excited for you, man. Congratulations. Thrasher81, one final question. Will plugins take over the real thing? Thanks for answering our queries. So I don't think that plugins will be, I don't think plugins are going to phase out real amplifiers. There's always going to be a need for them. However, with the advent of so much more realistic plugins and modelers and things of that nature, you're going to have far more studios just using the plugins and using Quad Cortex for their tones, because it's going to be a simpler approach. as I said, there's always going to be a need for physical models because people are going to want that, either because of a romantic idea that they're going to sound more authentic or true, or just because that's what they have, that's what they love, and that's what they're used to. So I don't think that there's going to be exactly a phasing out of physical modelers, but I think it's definitely going to be more ubiquitous in studios and live settings to see, quad Cortex modelers and plug-in rigs and laptops with little neural DSP in the window there. So I do see that as definitely becoming far more present in music culture. Tombo, riff competition when? Even if no prizes, can we just set up a hashtag for people to share to? So we have some things in the works right now. We have some plans formulating. Again, I'm kind of working. I'm concentrating on getting these artist tones done. I got a couple other projects on my plate. So after that's all kind of like underway, then yeah, we're probably going to start looking at doing some more riff competitions. Yeah, that sounds about right. Mel says, let's squeeze some more collab vids with Fortin before you leave. I'm down, homie. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you for the good luck wishes on the move to Finland. As I said, I don't know exactly when that timeline is going to come into place, but that is going to happen soon. And I'm very excited about it. I'm sure you guys will probably see it on the socials. I'm going to try and be better about posting on my regular channels as well. Like I know that's like I post like once every other 3 months or so, and that's definitely gotta change. But let's go ahead and call that a day. It was a really good stream. That was really fun. It's nice to just be able to like hang out with you guys, chat with y'all, answer your questions. I love getting the positive feedback from you all and being able to help you all out with whatever you're working on. So, Gus, oh, what's up, dude? Glad to see you, brother. Yeah, I miss you, man. I was telling Seba, my support guy, the other day. It's like, yeah, I'm going to be moving to Finland. It's my consolation prize for not going to the NAMM show and getting to see everybody this year. Oh, yeah, good to see you, brother. Steven Shred, have a good one, dude. Yeah, we'll see you Friday. I think we're gonna be doing some forest. I think. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm doing a gaming channel with a buddy of mine, Facing Worlds Gaming. In case you want to check it out. Anyway, yeah, we've been playing with our buddy Steven Shreds, Steven Terrazas. Awesome. Thank you all so much. This is honestly like the best part of my day when I get to chat with you guys. So I want to thank you all so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for chatting, asking some really amazing questions. Yeah, and just bringing so much positivity to what I do. Yeah, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, and I appreciate you all. So yeah, it's good to see you as well. Thank you all so much for hanging out, and I will see you all in the next one.